Welcome to Film
Welcome
Zen.
to Film Zen.
Tonight, we are going to do our own Academy Award-winning movies of 2017. We've got our final 5 tonight. 5 movies that we've reviewed our lists, and they have a lot of things in common. They are great stories. They are beautiful stories. They are incredible acting, fantastic directing, and of course, our favorite, great writing. So, strap on, buckle up, and here we go. Okay, we will start at number 5. For me, it would be Dunkirk. It's a very unique World War II movie. I mean, it really is, because it's about survival. It's not about, you know, sacrifice and, and flag waving and here, okay, guys, here, here we go.
Right.
The cinematography really did help tell the story. There's so much imagery, and there's barely even dialogue in it. If you really think about it, there's barely dialogue in it. So the images really tell the story, and the sounds, and just, I mean, you really did feel like you were just there. Yeah, it was just one of those movies that played with my psyche for a while, and to me, that's what movies should do.
My number 5 was Split. Split.
Okay.
M. Night Shyamalan, James McAvoy. It was Split to me was creepy. It was unexpected. Which, wow, M. Night Shyamalan, but not gimmicky. It was basically a captor-captive kind of movie, and it was intense. And it had a twist. It had kind of a Norman Batesy kind of a twist, which I thought James McAvoy really, really came through with bringing the characters, if you will, to light.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was my number 5.
All right. Number 4. For me, it'd be Train Spotting 2. Yeah, this is one of those movies where, wow, I mean, the first one was enjoyable, but yet it had a sense of brute. I mean, there was some pretty brutal moments.
It was
in there.
raw.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, it was definitely avant-garde in terms
Yeah.
of. I've always wanted to use that word. No. So this was definitely it honestly was just a continuation, 20 years later, of the first one, and it was very respectable to all the characters. It really did seem like a labor of love, this movie, and I really enjoyed it. Once again, it was another one those where I walked away going, you couldn't help but, gnaw on a couple of scenes, and again, it taps into your psyche, and hey, again, I hate to repeat myself, I'll probably repeat myself on every movie of these, but seriously, if these things make you think, I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether they're action adventure or thrillers or dramas or, noirs or whatever genre it is, if it makes you think, the movie did its job.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
My number 4 was The Shape of Water. Beautiful movie. I think that is kind of the direction that Hollywood needs to go. Instead of making sequels and reboots, come up with something that is as original or as beautiful as The Shape of Water. And I could go on about the actors and the acting and the writing and everything about this movie, because such a beautiful, beautiful film, absolutely beautiful film.
But I would say in the 21st century, this is one of the best picture
Yeah,
movies.
no, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, number three, Logan. Here's another one where I walked out saying, "This is a comic book movie." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It didn't. It felt like an art house indie movie. It's like a tour de force of just rawness and grit and noir and a dystopic a dystopic future almost made you feel claustrophobic. Like the whole time
right,
watching it.
right,
Again, there's really no frontline battle cries in this movie. I mean,
right.
it really does have its. I mean, it was about as anti-hero as you can get. I mean, even again, you're not cheering hooray. I mean, wow. I mean, when the action scenes happen, you're kind of like ooh ah. I mean, it seemed like it hurt.
Yeah,
but it also helped propel the movie. And of
yeah.
course, when you get to your ending, and some things do unravel in this movie. You're like, ah, wow. But again, do you leave happy? No, actually, it's kind of depressing, but
Bittersweet.
But it feels good
Bittersweet,
though.
I think.
But it feels good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it does. It's kind of bittersweet. So now my number three is Blade Runner 2049.
Ooh, okay.
I think this year is a lot about the sequels. At least for me, in that, this year I think they did them right. And Blade Runner 2049 is a sequel that I thought that they really did right. And they weren't trying to appeal to a new audience. They weren't trying to do anything. And I felt that what they did was they made a really good Blade Runner movie with a really good Blade Runner story.
Absolutely.
It took its time, but it paid off.
Yep.
The characters, the story, just everything just moved along to a certain pace that was slow enough but fast enough. It was just
Mine has got to be The Shape of Water.
okay.
Now, it seemed like to me, it seemed like The Shape of Water was literally like Guillermo del Toro's resume. I mean, it just seemed like everything, like his whole entire career was just encompassed into this movie.
Mm-hmm.
You had your sense of weirdness,
Yeah.
You had your sentimentality that he has,
Right.
You have your brutality is in it,
Yeah.
his flair for sci-fi and mythology,
Mm-hmm.
and his
Suspense.
and his suspense, and his also love for noir. I mean,
Right.
it's all
Yes,
in
it is.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, and is also is also weird sense of sexuality.
Yeah,
I mean,
yes.
it's all in there,
Right.
and
He pushed the envelope when it came to
oh,
sexuality.
absolutely.
I thought in that.
You know, and this movie, I mean, it's funny because when this movie first came out, a lot of the fanboys, like us, we all thought it was a comic movie, and because it's Del Toro, no, it's not. It
It's
is
a
not.
fish.
It is not a comic
Yeah.
movie.
No.
It's not.
No.
It's actually original story, and yeah, it was just fantastic. I haven't felt that good about him, walking out of a movie since like Pulp, like the days of Pulp
Yeah.
Fiction, when you had to drive down to a major city to see these art house movies. I mean, now we can see them, everywhere now because places like the Cinépolis or or the AMC or the Regal. I mean,
So many outlets.
yeah, there's so many outlets now, but it really kind of just brought that back,
Yeah.
and
Bit of nostalgia.
yeah, what a great job. Best Picture category, absolutely Academy Award winning. Films and Best Picture, well, for me, it ranks number 2. There is just too much going on for me to enjoy, and I'm sure that one day it'll be part of my Great Halls of Zen. I mean, I know that for a fact.
Logan.
Logan.
Logan for me was number 2. This movie was an emotional sucker punch.
Yeah.
Just as far as a superhero movie goes, it did not have any of the frills, and it really told the everyman story. It's something that so many people could relate to on so many different levels, so
Right.
many different genres of, you know. I mean, I'm sure that even your daughter could relate to this movie on so many different levels.
Yeah.
It was just such a really great story that didn't have any stupid gimmicks.
No.
And I mean, of course, all the actors, most of them are veteran actors. You know, some of those who are not. Everybody still brought the acting to the table. The story was told very, very well, and it was not. It was a superhero movie that was not really about the superhero aspect. It was all about family.
Number one. Drum roll, please. Yes, it's going to have to be Blade Runner 2049. For me, when I see a science fiction movie that has so much accolades, you know, just great cinematography, great story, great acting, and so much care, and it almost really kind of, you know, the Blade Runner, well, both of them, but just the whole Blade Runner universe, it really brings you back to like the days of Arthur C. Clarke and you know, Asimov, you know, Heinlein, you know, like just classic science fiction, you know.
Yeah.
When you have psychology attached to it, to me, that's what makes a great science fiction. To me, I mean, if it's lasers and you know, if it's lasers and monsters from some folks, and maybe I'm too uppity, I'm fine with that.
My number one is Trainspotting 2. Not only do they play the actors true to character, but they give a new story. They give you another twist. A little bit of the same, a lot of the same feeling. I think it was a lot like what you were saying when it comes down to Danny Boyle. You know, like every shot is a picture.
Every shot is intentional. I mean,
Yeah.
he's expressing something to you on purpose. I mean, the images, you know, it's it's not like Michael Bay where the images are there because they're pretty. I mean, it's like with Nolan and Danny Boyle. I mean, those guys have images there because they're trying to tell you something. They're trying to steer you to either your psyche or your emotions or even like a twist.
I saw the movie, I read the book, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I devoured it. And when the sequel came out, of course, I was skeptical. But when I saw it, man, it picked up where it left off.
It did.
And many sequels don't do that.
No.
You know? And you know what, honestly, Blade Runner 2049 did the exact same thing.
Yeah, it did.
You know, it picked up after, you know,
Yeah.
where it should.
Yeah, these are almost like they're almost like they're in the same family of sequels.
They really are. They really are. You know, there's
Completely-
sequels that are not trying to reinvent.
No.
You know, they're not trying to reinvent.
Just continue.
Yeah, they're continuing, but 20 years later.
Yeah.
And you know what? Honestly, no coincidence why both of those should make our,
Right.
you know.
That's our final 5 of 2017. But 2018, I swear to God, I think we'll have the 10 of Zen because our movie passes are coming pretty soon. We'll be seeing a movie almost every day. So until then, keep watching. Cheers.